Thanks for tuning in. I'm Donnie, and today I'm going to be getting this spare wheel set up with tubeless and a new tire for Chase. Now this is an SRT wheel that I got from Max Motorsports. It comes pre-assembled, it already has bearings pre-installed as well as seals, and it also comes with spacers. So it's already got 2 holes here, and they're 4 spokes apart. So that's the setup you want for tubeless, but I need to make one of them larger so the low pressure rim lock side of the tubeless will fit through it. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole out to 7/16. You'll make sure there's no sharp burrs left on there. So the next step is to apply the rim tape that came with the tubeless kit. But before I do that, I'm going to clean the rim with some contact cleaner. Make sure that tape sticks. So I'm going to go around the rim 3 times with the tape. With the first round, I'm going to stay in the center. With the next round, I'm going to go over to one side, and with the last round, I'm going to go over to the other side, making sure that I don't get the tape up on the shoulders of the rim. So I'm going to start at the large hole that I made. It's important that when you're putting this tape on, you don't want to stretch it. Pull it off the roll, let it relax a little bit, and then make sure it's not stretched. It's always good to have an extra rear wheel set up if that's an option for you, because you can keep 2 different kinds of tires on the wheels. And in this case, Chase wants to put a gummy tire on his spare wheel and have his regular motocross tire on his other wheel. So that way, if we're going to ride some wet, slick rocks and things like that, we can throw his gummy tire on there. In addition to that, you can have a spare ready to go if you have a flat or something. Now that I've made 1 round, I'm going to start coming over to the left side there. So if you got an extra wheel and you have a flat out on a ride, it won't ruin your day. You can just throw your extra wheel on there. And if you're in a race, you're not going to have time to fix a flat tire in a race. But you might be able to come back to the truck, change out your wheel, and finish the race just to avoid a DNF. All right, now I'm going to come over to the right side. All right, we've made it 3 times around. We got a little extra tape, so I'll just lay that in the center. I'm just going to use a razor blade to cut out the 2 holes. So the rim is fully prepped now, and it's time to install the tubeless. So now I'm going to position the tubeless on here. I want to line up the low pressure side with the blue cap on it with the larger hole that I made. And then I need to line up the tube with this hole so that this valve stem lines up with the smaller hole. So I'm going to need to adjust this over this way by pulling the tube out of here. Kind of moving it. Line that up, insert it, all right, that looks about right. I'm going to remove the caps. I removed the retaining ring from the high pressure valve stem, and I removed the nut from the rim lock low pressure side. And I'm also going to remove the valve stem from both. I'm just going to put some Armor All on the bead to help it go on the rim a little bit easier. I'm going to line up both valve stems with the holes. Go ahead and work those in. Put the retaining ring on the high pressure one, just loosely on there to hold it in there, and I'll put the nut just loosely on the rim lock low pressure side. I'm just going to spoon it on there, and as I go, I'm going to make sure that the tubeless stays in the drop dead center of the rim. I'm just going to wipe that armor all off of the tubeless, because later I'm going to be using some sealant. I don't want the armor all to interfere with the sealant. So I like to use stand sealant instead of the soapy water method that Tubeless recommends. I've had a problem over time after Tubeless has been on. When I've used the soapy water method, it seals up fine initially, but a few months later it'll start to develop slow leaks on the low pressure side. So stand seems to work really well, and I've never had any problems with Tubeless leaking on the low pressure side when I've used stands. So I poured a few ounces down into the tire, and I did that when the camera was off, but now I've got the camera back on, and so not sure if you can see, but I just kind of got a puddle in the tire there. So I like to use a foam brush to spread the sealant around the inside of the tire bead on both sides. And then I go around the outside too, just to help the tire go onto the rim a little easier. I'm just going to take a little tubeless bracket, insert that into the rim. Put the rim with the rim lock side down. Here's the tip. I like to put a rag on top of the rim. That way I can apply more downward pressure with my hand. Alright, I'm going to start on the side opposite from the rim lock. The rim lock and the other valve stem are over here on this side. So I'm going to start over here, start working it on. Alright, turn over, same thing on the other side. So the rim lock and the high pressure valve stem are on this side. Start over here. That's the part they make look really easy on the tubeless videos, but it can be a little bit of a struggle on the second side sometimes. But if you just make sure that you keep that tire pushed down as far as you can down into the center of the rim, you'll eventually get it on. Now I'm going to give it a few bounces just to make sure that stand sealant is distributed equally inside. Now I'm going to reinstall both valve stems. I'm going to inflate the high pressure side to 110 psi. I'll make sure that the bead's fully seated on both sides. Then we're going to inflate the low pressure side to about 15 pounds. Now the only thing left to do is tighten the rim lock. Now I'm going to leave this inflated to 15 pounds overnight so I can come back tomorrow and make sure I don't have any leaks. Chase is all set up with a spare wheel and a hybrid gummy tire on it. Be sure to click that thumbs up if you like these shop videos and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.